Who paints and all cars in a world where everyone is chasing AI? Menu Campa does. And he turned it as international global career. He worked with the Coca-Cola, Porsche and many more, and his art hangs in the best galleries from Tokyo to Miami. Let's meet the man who made vintage cool again.
Thank you so much for that. I was so happy that I met you and that you gave me this precious time for going to airport. You have a flight in a few hours.
Yeah, 5 hours exactly.
But I was so happy that I met you and I saw your beautiful work and that I discovered you as an artist and now friends. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's talk about you. Where you from? Where you grew up?
I'm from Spain, Madrid. I grew up there. I studied fine arts back home, and I finished that in 2008. And since then, I've been being able to make a living out of selling my paintings, which was my main purpose when I studied fine arts, because I knew I wanted to be a creator, and I wanted that to be the reason of my living. You know, like I had a very clear vision of, and I'm gonna make a living out of physically selling my work, selling my creations. And since then, it's been a long journey, traveling to Miami every year since 2016. I came back then, that's 9 years ago already. I came for Art Basel. I went by a close by gallery, and I started meeting the collectors here, the art scene and the card scene as well, because those are my two walls. And it's been a great journey. It's been so much fun.
So you was born in Madrid, you were staying in Madrid.
Yep.
Which university?
University Juan Carlos Primero.
And what was your major?
Fine arts and painting, then photography and sculpture, but it was fine arts. Yeah. Started painting though in my third year there. I wasn't sure if painting was gonna be the thing, because I was very good at drawing, I was good at the sculpture, I was good at photography. But then painting, it is tricky, and I think you may know what I mean, because it's playing with colors and being able to manage colors, not just black and white, but doing something realistic. It is a lot of a bigger challenge than just drawing. I got very good at drawing, but then this is another level of creativity. But then, yeah, I discovered painting in my third year in the university, and it is hard for the next 20.
When your parents realized you have a time for the art?
That was when I was like 15. I had flash. No, I always like drawing, but then you draw kind of like everyone else, and then when you're 13, 14, 15, then you start like becoming better than the rest, and you realize that. And with that, I just thought to my parents about what if I study fine arts.
So they support.
And they support me, even though you may imagine it's probably not the best idea as a parent about kids studying fine arts, because it may not be a very smart financial option for your future.
And your parents, what were they coming from?
Another model, like my mom, she was kind of, I guess, as a secretary, secretariat, how do you say it? Secretary. And then my dad, he came just for a big business brand and nothing to do with art. But my grandparents were kind of artists. My grandmother, she was a beautiful painter. So they kind of knew what I was getting into. Probably they didn't expect me to really make a good, nice, beautiful, wealthy lifestyle on my paintings. They trusted me.
Yeah.
But this has become a lot better than we all expected. Me, myself too, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. So when you finished university, you started drawing cars right away, or no? You start collecting cars.
I've always loved cars, but they've been in a parallel role to my painting. So I just when I started selling more portraits of people. It was something easy to sell. Your friends were getting married, or your auntie wanted a picture of whatever she wanted. So I was doing commissions for everyone, basically related to portraits. But that was not that nice.
I would
'Cause
love to see your work.
I don't know. I don't like them at all. You know, it's funny. When I give this to one of my collectors, they love it. But when you give a portrait to one of your collectors, then it's a different thing, because portraiture is very hard, and it's very hard for ourselves to see how we really are
How artist sees you.
and how an artist sees you. So we don't even like ourselves in 90% of the pictures that people take of us.
It's just in face up.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, I don't like that picture. I don't like that picture. It's like, that is you. You may not like that picture, but that is exactly you. And you are not this smiley thing in the mirror every morning before meeting. You are a lot more things than just the perfect picture in your head. So that's added to the artistic view and probably the artistic mistakes you make. It was just not nice. When I was expecting a collector to come to the studio, and I had my portrait behind, and like, I really hope he likes it or she likes it, because it was not always easy to say it that way. Because many times you go like, I really like it, but can you make that little change and that other change? I like, oh shit, like I really would not like to do that, but I had to say yes because it's my work. But it is a difficult work with this.
So this is easier because you face
This is easier.
from reality.
Yeah, it's very realistic, as you can see, and it's probably taking car portraiture to another level in many ways. But these are their toys, and they like to see them portrayed in many creative ways, and I think this adds value to most of my collectors' main case or garages or art collections.
So you drawing specifically to people who loves hearts.
Exactly. I draw 50% of my work, 40% of my work would be something like we have here, which is just a creative process of being in the studio, thinking, all right, by the next kind of up, I give a little twist to my evolution as an artist, as a creator. And then 60% of the work is commissioned specifically around the car that is owned by one of my collectors.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So that's a very specific niche, but it is big. It is, and it is. This is what has taken me to where I am now. It's painting from these big, beautiful collectors that want to have the portrait of their dream car that they just bought, and that can be a $300,000 Porsche or a $5 million Bugatti. Doesn't matter. It is usually something in between those two, in the big spectrum, or a guy that just finally bought his classic Mercedes or his classic Porsche. I'm very into classic Porsche. I love those. So that is where the success comes from creating something specifically for a car guy or for a car enthusiast. Usually, that was something to remember that first car or their dream car, or something to complement a role where he has his Porsche collection or his Ferrari collections and that.
Interesting. But what about you? You love cars? You collect the cars?
Yeah, cars. I wouldn't say collecting, but I have 4 or 5 classic cars that I love. Yes, they're humble, but they're 1970s Porsches. That's one of my big things. I love. And then I have 1930s Ford, 1990s couple of Volkswagens and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm very into classic Porsches like that. Yeah, I love that decade, and I love that racing look of 70s race cars and 70s Porsches.
Do you drive donkey?
I grab them a lot. I'm very car, but I have a big car community in Madrid. Just like it is Miami. Well, Miami's car community is big, way big.
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Money reasons, obvious money reasons. There's big wealthy guys here that not only they're wealthy, they're willing to spend their wealth during their life, and in Europe we're a lot more classic into that mindset. If you earned good money, or your parents did, or your grandfather did, you expect that wealth to go generation.
Under
History.
here, people that we
I
are,
think, yeah.
we have only one life.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very different approach of how to spend wealth and how to enjoy life.
What do you think is closer for you?
I do like the Miami guys, even though I'm not wealthy as they are, but I do spend my money on the things that I like really much. And as long as you don't make stupid reasons, buying cars or just like buying real estate, it's not spending money, it's investing money in something. Your money could be there. If you need it, you could sell the car back and you'll get your money back. As long as you're not making really bad investments in cars, but as long as you kind of know how this market works, it is not. It is not wasting your money. It's just putting it somewhere that is enjoyable. It is like buying a house in Hawaii that you know it's a good asset. And if you get bored after 10 years, you sell it and then you get your money back and enjoy that experience with your money because that is what you work for.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm more, I'm more American mindset, I say.
Why you said that Lamborghini needs to flash?
And I'm not into this show off thing. I think if I think real car enthusiasts may dream of the Lambo when they're kids.
Yeah.
But if you're 40, you should probably like the Lambo that you dreamed of when you were 15. So I think we all have this generation of cars that we had in our posters and in our we played with those, and that's kind of why I like 70s Porsches. I was not born in the 70s, but I like the cars that I liked like the kid, and it's a dream for me now to be able to achieve that dream and to buy those cars. Buying another Lambo would not represent it. It's just too flashy, and it's not like I want to be making noise and showing off the door of a nightclub or anything like that. And if it's a driving experience where I'm searching, which is something that I do search, I would go for a classic Porsche or a modern Porsche. I would go for something more humble. You don't need to be with a fancy car to enjoy driving. And Miami has the beautiful vibe of fancy cars, and I like that, but it's just not my personality. I like where the streets are featured.
So when you're in Miami, you prefer Uber?
I prefer all, yeah. I try my friends to go with their classic Porsches, so or other Porsches, but yeah, I'd rather just drive a normal car. And it's my customers that have beautiful classic cars. That's when I enjoy their cars too.
Amazing. Do you like living in Madrid?
I love living in Madrid.
I love Madrid.
You do?
Oh, yeah. Maybe in future, I would love to have a apartment there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful city. It's a big asset now as well. Big investors are coming and buying, like a lot of Mexican people. Is like a real estate
because they go to school, the kids, and it's the same language, and the food is fantastic.
Yeah.
Nothing can do.
It is really safe. Yeah, to me, they have that they call for that reason. Like it's very obvious that it's a beautiful place to live in, and everything's close by. Your friends are all in the same neighborhood.
Which neighborhood?
I live in El Pardo. It's a very strange place to live. It's a little town very close to the sea, but everything is surrounded by literally forest, and I love that because it's 10 minutes from the city, but you're surrounded by trees and nature and big birds. Otherwise, I live in somebody. It's just like a very modern neighborhood. I used to live in Malasaña for 10 years. That was like our Soho. You could say.
Okay.
Everything was very artistic and kind of like we will here in Miami and like where we are. Yeah. But I love it in Madrid. Like it's always tempting to travel where you're succeeding with your work, but then it is moving here with being spending a lot more money into my lifestyle. And so for me, the perfect match is I live in a place where I don't have to spend too much money on just the lifestyle that I'm searching for, but I come here and I sell here to Miami prices, or not Miami prices, but to a price that I think is worth my work. So I find that very positive, and so I keep calm.
Do you like traveling?
I love traveling. I love traveling throughout my work. So doing exhibitions. Last year I had a lot of beautiful trips that I wanted to do. I wanted to go to Mexico. I wanted to go to Bangkok. And I wanted to go to a couple of more places, and it was doing exhibitions in those places that I flew there. So I had a show in Bangkok that was awesome. I had a show in Las Vegas, Formula One. That was beautiful. I had a couple of shows in Mexico. I went to Mexico Formula One. So I love not only traveling as a tourist, but being part of the community for a few days. So exhibiting in Macau was amazing, and meeting the fans and the collectors, and all the Porsche community was around there. So I love the mixture of traveling with work.
Frankly, it's the best. Since you're paying on the beach or nothing,
Exactly.
you do for that, you spend your time for that.
Exactly. And you're not wasting any time or any money. You're actually earning money, and especially meeting the right people in a very like romantic way. This
Yeah.
and what I was telling you, I love the connection with my collectors, and that community grows as you travel to these places.
How most of the time, customers, how do they find?
So Instagram is a huge channel.
Interesting.
Yeah. So with the number of followers have been growing in a very crazy way the last few years.
Wasting what?
I think I create something that's very niche, and that is very different from most people's approach. So if you're an artist, you will probably not need cars. I don't think many car artists exist except for a few that we have here in this show. But
Okay, let's talk about investment part. Like for example, if somebody's commissioning portrait of their favorite part, and then the dolly goes out, can they resell it?
they could resell it, even though I think there is a very little the second market on the work, very little, because it's very highness. Yeah, it's very versatile. So if you bought this year, you probably don't want to sell it in the next 5 years. You will at home because it becomes part of you, especially if it's a part of your car.
Yeah.
And you got your car there, who will want to sell it? You may sell it up, and you could the painting as a good memory of the car.
Yeah.
So that is something that's cool.
Okay, so besides commissioning portraits and paintings to the specific orders, you have a lot of free time just to explore and create something what you want.
I do when I have projects like what I'm doing right now in Discovery. So it's like a midterm project. Like, hey, we want to exhibit your work. What can you do for us? Is put up a concept together, and let's create from there. And that's I brought this because I feel it has a very soul Miami life. It matches the scene here. It matches the main case that I know of in the city. And this is very creative. It's not that creative when I have a collector that is very specific into what he wants. Because then, I don't know, your wings go a little shorter and you're not that free. But the AI operation like this, it's freedom, total freedom. Like I just do that for the file bit, and
So do you have a lot of paintings in stock? Or usually not?
I know.
No.
It's literally free right now. All my work is free.
Gallery, like when I come visit you in Madrid.
I have a beautiful studio.
Yeah,
It's in a beautiful city, and I have my cars there, and it's got a big room full of my paintings, and it's mostly paintings that are in the process. Because as I said, everything is kind of sold out. So I just have 3 or 4 that are available. I like to keep them in my studio.
Can people book in and just
No, they regularly we can make it up and in our agenda. But it's kind of bumpy. The demand is getting a little out of hand. So
it's so bothered by that.
Yeah, there's many people asking me like, "Hey man, I'm traveling to Madrid next week.
Yeah.
I will go to the gallery," and it's like, let me try to find some time because I have like 50 commissions all the time.
60.
50.
50.
50.
Oh my God! So how long it takes you to make one?
It's like a week.
1 week.
So I'm fully booked for almost 1 year.
Wow.
Plus the projects that I have, like this, every now and then there is a gallery or a space or a car event that I want to go to, Formula One event that I want to go to.
How was this for?
It was beautiful. I was light painting there at the
Was lighting?
and light painting.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
So gonna paint?
Like one of the collectives, yeah.
Oh, you got flowers to paint?
It
Like
was
a sketch?
no. I brought the painting halfway done, so it was a lot easier for me. And I just finished it during the race for the 3 days. So I was painting Friday,
So
Saturday.
you didn't look at the Rex.
I did a lot of race, but there is nothing to see at the race. Yeah, I'm not into Formula One that much. I think there's a lot of fancy things around it, and I like endurance races better. I like other kind of races, but Formula One, I don't know, it's kind of boring. It's so tactical. There's not. Even the cars aren't making any noise anymore. Do you remember the cars when we were kids? They were really loud. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
that is not good
a
now.
lot of time I've been in the Formula One. I was in Canada like 10 years ago, and it was so hot. I got hot burn. It was on an open space, and I couldn't be on not any cars. So for me, it was like not in purpose to go. Unless they tickets, they go otherwise.
Yeah. It's a public job.
Pray for people, go there for connections. You know, just get in the right place to meet cool people. Did you meet cool people?
I people, good collectors, good fans. It was fun.
People like Abdezu?
Yeah, because this car scene is not that big. So they see you, they're like, we're divorce artists, so they think so. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I love it.
What about your personal life? You're so busy with painting, traveling. Do you have a girlfriend, right?
I have a wife. I have 2 kids at home.
He doesn't look like he's married. No.
You don't know, huh?
No.
Yeah.
He's so happy.
Married people is not that happy.
I'm joking, but you like free spirit. Your eyes did sparkle. I know. No, it's right. So we're up the kids. How old are they?
They're 8 and 9.
And
Beautiful.
You're taking them to the.
Yeah, they come to the studio. They were here last year for a show that I had, and they were selling their bracelets as I was selling my paintings. It was lovely to see them around this, and it's crazy, but they were selling their bracelets for $1. Of course, they're kids. And the first customer that came is my friend Carlos. He didn't have change, so he just gave him $20. And they came to me like, we got $20. I'm like, no, come on. They're gonna believe Miami is always like that. This Miami click like, easy. No.
The change back.
Yeah. They will give €1.
Do you want them to be artists as well?
I love them to be artists if they want to be artists. Like I wanted to be free. They'll find their way, but I'm happy they give it a very artistic environment.
Maybe your wife, what she does?
She works with me more like the back office of emails and Instagram and invoices and a lot of things that I cannot control.
No, absolutely. If you're artist, you know the.
Yeah. It's a so yeah, guy, not at all. It's tough. All that art for me is very tough.
What did you do before?
She worked as a secretary for a big company. So when we became parents, she wanted to come back to that company. It was tricky because she didn't want to work 9 to 9. So we started working together, thinking might or might not work because everybody was like, like working together with your husband, wife, it's gonna be complicated.
Absolutely.
And it didn't. It was good. We kind of are able enough to separate what is work or what is not. If we disagree in decisions that we have to take in the business side, we can control that is business and we have to argue about something related to business, but business apart, we're a happy family and we don't have to put that in, like we don't have to bring that in the house, So I think we're doing a good job and we support each other a lot and it's very important for both of us because this is the way the family earns the money, this is our lifestyle and we have to support each other. I support her, she's with the kids now back home and it's probably not an easy time after 5 or 10 days. And just like I'm here just working my ass off trying to sell these paintings and making connection. And we're both happy with our reality.
What about the reality that you're a star in the family and she's just helping you?
Yeah, she's so humble. She's so happy about that.
She's okay.
She's fine with that.
At all the ownership to you.
Yeah, she's totally fine with that. She wouldn't like the attention. I don't think she would like the attention. She's very humble and she's happy that this is happening. Like I started selling paintings in Miami 9 years ago, but we've been together for 15. And when we started dating, she was paying half of what my studio costs, and that was $300 a month. So when I started selling paintings, it was for $200 a piece, and now it's like 25. So it's been a long journey, step-by-step journey. Like whenever we had many commissions, we were able to raise up our prices a little bit, and it's been a very humble step-by-step working art thing. It's fun. I held it out. or finally here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. So how much your paintings starts at?
So they start at 10,
10,000?
and that goes up to as big as you want to make it. So it depends on the size. It is usually from 10 to 20, but people want bigger pages. So it goes a little crazier than that. And that is most of it.
And what material you use to do?
So it's mostly acrylics. Then I use every now and then I use spray paint. Not in any of these, but probably 10% of my paintings I face with a couple of bright spots with spray paint, and then varnish. That's it. It's simple. I produce a lot, and I have to literally have to ship this collection the day after finishing it. So using acrylics is key in order to have.
Fast.
Yeah, and I need that to dry very quickly. If you use oil, you're done.
Did you do some work?
I did some more stuff with oil very fast.
Yeah.
I literally ship many things that I signed 20 minutes before building a box spray, and goes very goes.
Yeah. What was the most unique and special request?
I guess like the most special thing is connecting with big collectors, and I have a few that are very special, and they've been supporting me for many years. I had a beautiful story with one of these collectors. So when one of these, I met a guy because they commissioned me to paint a car that was going to be delivered in a Porsche event here a few years ago, and it's a very pricey car, more than $2 million car. And they wanted me to light paint during the unveiling of the car and handing the keys to this guy. So they hired me to do that. And before the opening, I was just already starting in my canvas. And this guy comes up to me like, hey, wow, I love the paintings. Like, how can I buy one of these? And like, well, it's out for sale and blah, blah, blah. So we start talking for a while. And after like half an hour, he's like, hey, man, that is, I really want to get, I want to get a painting. I love it. I'm like, you know what? It's for the owner of the car. So it's done after sale. He's like, fuck yeah, I own the car. It's going to be my painting.
He didn't know.
He didn't know. And he was wearing way worse than me. Like I can say that to his face. He was just wearing an Iron Man t-shirt.
Yeah.
Super humble looking guy. You would never feel he's worthy at all. But that's the way he likes.
Where he was from?
U.S., Virginia, I think. So we became friends that day. He's been collecting my art for a few years. So one of these collections that I did was kind of that. The first time that I did that to Miami with these cars with a tape at the top. And that was 2022. So I had bought a classic Porsche that year, but in order to buy that Porsche, I had to sell an old Ford that I had. An 1930s car, very special for us. So when I was delivering a few of these paintings in his house, we were talking about cars and blah, blah, blah. He said, so how is the Porsche doing? And I'm like, yeah, my Porsche is doing fine. Like, it's a very humble Porsche compared to your collection.
Sure.
And he's like, yeah, and how is the old Ford? I'm like, you know what? I had to sell the car. You had to sell it? Yes. I didn't have the money to keep both, so I had to let it go. And he just decided to get it back and pay for that road.
That's beautiful story.
So he really, he was like, really, how you get that back and the food make happen.
This is so amazing.
Yeah, that was a very special moment. I couldn't believe it. So we literally did, like, I called the guy and I sold it to, like, hey, Juan, you have to sell that car back to me to say, this very special thing is happening and I need you to be a part of it. I need you to be able to resell the car back to me. He doesn't even know how to drive. He didn't know how to start it. Like it's a very old, it's 100 years old.
So you still have?
So I have it back.
Oh.
Yeah.
You don't draw? You do?
I do drive it a lot. I love that car. Yeah, I'm into the whole car scene from 1930s to 1990s. I love all kind of cars. And that is very special car. I'll show you a picture later. That's a very cool car. And it has the best story. So now it's a gift for my kids. I will never sell that again. And I have to go to the next generation. They'll do whatever they want. So these things happen with these beautiful collectors. And that is what I'm excited about. And that is what I'm open to experience when I travel to these places, meet beautiful human beings that support you for years. Because as creators, as artists, there is many artists that are kind of in their own bubble, just creating, and then they sell throughout a gallery, or they find their own ways to make a living. But I love the real connection, because it is thanks to these guys that I can make a living out of like paintings. I need collectors. I need people that finally, I don't know, that want to support you. And it's usually like a long-term relationship that you can build these guys. I have collectors that have more than 15 of my paintings. And that's what are. Yeah, almost very sad. I had it with that. So every time I come, they're like, hey, what are you bringing? I would also get a lot more piece, and you do that for me. And so it is really becoming friends through all my work, and it's great. It's the best part about it.
Absolutely. How are you getting inspired? Like, for example, this car with the tape on top. What the...
So you remember the banana thing, right? So I was exhibiting that year here in Miami when the banana thing happened, and everybody was just talking about it. And it kind of stole the show, and all the galleries and artists were very disappointed about how can that thing really take all the attention in a city that has probably 10,000 beautiful paintings for sale at a very specific moment. So I was, and on the other hand, I was always thinking, I didn't want to always be inspired in real cars, because I have all these scale model cars in my studio, and I think all the car guys, we all become car guys throughout play with our toys when we're kids. So that becomes an obsession, and when you get older and if you have the money, then you become a car collector. So I always love that concept of, all right, I should not paint only the cars, but the toys and the scale model cars that I have. So when I saw the banana thing, I was like, all right, next year you're gonna give it a little twist, and I just gotta put the cars with the tape on the.
I think it's super cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. And it's a different way to approach your car. These are very specific razor, but I have many collectors that want that into their commissions. So I literally yesterday had a painting to a collector that has he just bought a GE2, which is a very cool Porsche, and he wanted that. So I just put the banana on the top. I put the tape up at the banana. Yeah. But yeah, and that is kind of the same concept. So you remember as well, when we're kids, we tend to collect stickers, and you put the one on the top of each other in your folder when you're a teenager.
Yeah.
So that is your music band or the logo or the whatever. So that is the same concept. I collected stickers, Porsche stickers. So it looks like it's one on the top of each other. So that is also a tribute to how we become car enthusiasts. And that is usually exciting memories. It is. And yeah, I played that idiot. I'm evolving to that. Yeah.
Is it difficult to impress you as another artist presenting their work?
No. I think there is a lot of people that call themselves artists and are not Ricky Carpe.
Yeah.
So in the Miami scene, it's hard to surprise me, because 80% of what you are seeing this year, you have seen it before.
Yeah.
And this kind of graffiti, street art version, dollar bill, and dollar sign, Sprite stuff, purpley, I don't know, everything too glossy for me. I'm not into that at all. But I think there is people coming every year that may surprise me, and I'm happy to be surprised. Like I love creative people, and I think there's a lot of talents. Many times I find people, the smaller the number of followers they have, the more the better of an artist that they are.
Then why do you think galleries not picking on their work? It's all in a business, no?
It is. That's the ugly side of it. Like it's a gallery should support an artist that they have to believe in.
Yeah.
But they need the collectors for that artist, and that it depends on who the collectors are. They're gonna change probably the perspective.
So you need to come already with the followers, basically.
Yeah.
With the demand. And if you are known artist, no galleries will sign.
No, they will if they see your talents, but it depends on who they're gonna be selling that to. So probably the Mexican collectors are different to the Ukrainian collectors, or the Russian collectors, or the New York collectors. Everybody's kind of probably have their own feel or their own touch into their art collections. So a gallery has to target their customers
Which gallery represents you or you don't?
Oh, we will kind of reset now. Of course, we're recording here, but yeah, I find they're being more open now into more classical artists because they become from really street art, and now they're more open to people that don't necessarily have done street art or graffiti to become artists, and that is my situation with them, and I'm happy that they opened this space to me because when I discovered the city a few years ago, that this is one of the first spots that I came because everybody was talking about Wingwood and the art scene here.
So what's the name of this gallery which represents you?
This is Wingwood Walls, and the gallery is a global arts gallery, so a Goldman Global Arts Gallery. So they are the family that founded Wingwood Walls, and many of the things that are happening here is under the umbrella of this family that were part of the creators of all this art scene happening here. So this is basically the first big gallery that opened in Wingwood Walls, and it's so iconic. Every big graffiti guy is represented in these walls. Everyone in the whole world. There is people from Brazil, Ecuador, Spain, and Russia. It's beautiful, and it's a good hotspot to come when you come to the city. I love when I land here. One of the first things that I do is coming to Wingwood Walls to see what's happening.
Do they change the...
They change a few of the artists on the walls every year. I think it's 6 change every year out of the 12 big walls that they have. And then there is always little galleries like this space that they have changed every 2 months.
How long will be your exhibition?
Till June 28th, so for a couple of us.
And then this art will travel to another art.
I don't know. We're still deciding what we're gonna do next. We'll see.
When is your next big exhibition and where?
It is gonna be Formula One in Barcelona and then Formula One in Italy. 2 shows there, and I'm working with another beautiful space. We'll see if that happens at the in the next.
And in Madrid, do you have a exhibition which...
No, it's very hard for me to work with galleries because I have so many commissions that I hardly find the time to create all this. So
I know, like you put it in a gallery. So what about editions? Like, for example, when you make art, yeah, do you make few of the same ideas?
Yeah. So the arena is only one, but then I could be sprays to sell to the people. So I they're on paper, sign a number, and that is a good way to put more of your art into people's homes, and maybe people get like for an original video, they buy those. So I've been selling prints for 20 years too.
Did you make a book?
No, I have to make a book. I'm talking with some people that want to read about it.
You're making a picture of every art.
Oh yeah, everything is very well documented, very well, and yeah. Even these interviews are something that I love to, because it's another way to discover people and to connect and to spread the word.
That's so important. No, nowadays it's all about branding. Yeah, and talk to other people.
Exactly.
And represent what's behind this beautiful art. And it's you. Each on a basic person.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so what do you do in your free time?
Car events, family trips, and traveling. But basically, traveling is not free time because usually work, as I told you. So I would say just go up to the north of Spain and forgetting about everything for a month. That's what I try to do every summer.
What is your favorite city?
My favorite city is Madrid, where I live. I love it.
Okay, and where do you go for summer? North, south?
Oh, it's not a city. It's a little village in Llanes, Asturias. It's a very close area, but beautiful nature. Kind of Scottish looking if you were a foreigner. Try to understand what I mean. Big green areas and the sea down and wide. Very nice to be there and cycle and yeah. Local parties, very classic siren. I love that.
Do you like wine?
Yeah. Wine with beer.
What is your favorite Spanish wine?
In Ribera del Duero, I would say a good bodega that we were just there, Abadía Pretuerta. So we just went to this bodega, the place where they create this wine, Abadía Pretuerta in Valladolid. It's beautiful there. Good place to go to.
No, you know, in Spain there are so many bodegas. Do you know Bodega Uve?
Yeah.
It's my...
Very close. That is like 10 kilometers from the one that you said.
But you know the over.
Yeah.
What, Pogo? He's a pastel. Actually,
He is the best. He is the face of his brand. Actually, that's how I met him because he travels everywhere. He meets personally everywhere. And actually, I have an interview on my YouTube channel, which you can watch, about Bodega Luca.
That's nice. That's very believing. Yeah, yeah.
So-
They do amazing work. It's a beautiful country full of this wine culture, very deep for hundreds of years. So the French wine culture, of course, is huge, but we're always like, hey, we're here, you know. And we've been doing this for a few years too, and yeah, there's many. You can travel the whole country, and just tasting good wine.
Yeah.
Good way to discover.
Okay, so what else do you like to do? Do you do sport, to meditations, yoga?
No, I'm not into yoga or meditation. I'm always stressed. I'm always running out of time, so I wish I could find the time to do more, or swimming, or I don't know. I try to find that, but I've been pushing hard to visit for the last year, so hardly have any free time. And when I used to do sports, it was cycling. I love cycling because it really takes you out of the city very quickly, and it's like a 2 or 3 hour break, and you're just concentrated on pedaling and just focused.
Disconnecting from the yeah. What about AI?
Tempting, but not into it. I'm honest. I'm very much tempted because I'm sure if I throw a couple of ideas to AI, and I'm sure you might come up with very cool images.
I think it's nothing wrong, brother.
No, there's nothing wrong anyway.
It's your touch and it's your
Yeah, but it will, even though I don't like it, it will add something else to my creativity, and I don't know if that is very good or bad. I don't know. It will have the AI personality into it, and I'm not sure. I'd rather move away than be. But next year, you ask me, I might be working with it. I'm sure it helps in many ways. It would be helpful in many ways, for sure. Yeah.
What do you think about art globally? Like, if you're talking about art.
I think spaces like this really help to put art into people's realities, because there is a lot of things related to art that are very hard, very niche, very it's like a closed world. You walk up to a gallery and you always feel it's probably not your place, even though you may like or appreciate art. It doesn't happen in museums, but it happens in art galleries. So I think the art gallery scene is always kind of posh and probably not open to the big public, because probably 90% of the people that walks up into a gallery doesn't really understand what they're saying, and everything is net explanation. And that doesn't happen in cinema, that doesn't happen in music. Any other art form is something you understand. 95% of the people who don't understand, but not into painting or sculpture. And there is something about that I don't like. I would like to be more open, and that's why I paint what I paint. This is more democratic. It's just this, whether you like it or not, but it's honest, it's there. It has no explanation needed. There is no drama involved in the creativity. And that into the art world is something that I'm not happy about. Abstracts, and pushing abstracts for 120 years that we've been doing, and probably, yeah, as I said, 95% of the people just not understanding anything. I don't know. And then it's rubbish pushing many other art creators that are probably not very art creators, that's splashing paint in many different ways on a canvas and selling that for a very price demise. I think that is not art. I think there's a lot of bullshit involved in social media right now, in the art chunks, I'd say.
How do you feel when somebody buys your work for status, not for the art?
I don't know if I have many of these, but I can come up with a couple of people that I know. They're more happy about me posting their work on Instagram that they're interested in buying my art. But that represents 5% my collectors. With most of them, I really connect. I deeply connect. Yeah.
You was working with the big brands. Yeah, let's talk about this. How these collaborations came up.
So I've been working with Tag Heuer for 5 years. I don't know, they have a little group of ambassadors in every country, and I am one of them. I think they find a very sweet spot with me, connecting with car people and with passionate guys that are mostly in between their 30s and their 50s. And I think we share a lot of that passion too. I think if you are into watches, you may be to Porsche as well. That is actually making a lot of connections to Formula One and Porsche, that they're becoming the main sponsor for the next 10 years. So there's a lot of things in common in between what I do and what they do. And I just go to events with them and it's great, fun. I love. So in Abadía Repuerta, I was actually with Tag Boyer, creating some content, and it was fun. It was beautiful. And then I work with brands as Mini, for example. I'm an ambassador of Mini, the car brand in Madrid too. I've done stuff with Lamborghini, with Porsche, with many other brands, but it's fun. I'm more into setting my base to finding collectors, because when you're working with brands as well, they have a party ways a little bit, and you have to create content or do something with them.
Yeah.
I don't feel I'm an Instagrammer. Even though I have many followers, and I'm not an influencer or however you wanna call that. I'm just an artist and a creator, and I have many followers. That's great, but they're not my business. So I'm tempted by many brands of create content for them. I say no 95% of the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is the
It may feel as easy money, and it may give you, it may put you in another level. But on the other hand, if you wanna be an influencer, you have to influence, and then you have to be selling something that is not your base, it is something else. And do they really represent you? The brand that contact you, they really represent you? Do you know what they are deeply? Mostly, I would say no. You may hook up with a brand that you don't know their values. It's just advertising their stuff in your Instagram page. It's not my thing.
No.
So I just work with a few brands that I really deeply think we connect.
amazing? What do you think about Tesla? And have you ever drawn Tesla?
Like never drawn of this, huh?
Collectors not collecting.
No Tesla collectors. I'm happy.
Oh, I like it. You don't like it?
Yeah, I'm a gas guy, so I like cars that make little noises. At the end, and they have furies, not like Setsa. Yeah, I'm not into that. I think they might be necessary, but I don't think they're as necessary as they are trying to sell us. They're pushing into that direction. Tech car now, everybody's kind of like, all right, let's go out to combustion engines, because we've been evolving into gas cars for the last 100 years, and we've come to a point where they're not really that bad for the environment. They might be the 80s, but nowadays a combustion engine is very, very, very clean, and being able to create the electricity to charge a whole country full of electric cars is very tough, and no country is still on that. And if you go to Europe, many countries are burning coal to get the electricity to charge an electric car. So your car is probably looking very clean, but the electricity that charges their car is not clean. So there is a lot of things in between that people is kind of forgetting about when they're choosing to go for an electric car. And long term, I think they're all going to be broken down. I think it's very hard for an electric car to last more than 15 years. And if you go to a combustion engine, if we did a little better job, you may have a car that lasts for 30 years without a problem. You get one of these classic cars, and I have a 50-year-old Porsche, and it's perfectly like you can drive that every day without a problem. And why you I get to throw that to the trash and create something new that is gonna last 10 years?
Who I do have a dream client you know of. You heard about him, but he never reached out to you. But you know he has a big selection of cars, and you would love to connect with him.
Yeah, there's a couple of names. One of them is Jay Leno. Jay Leno said he's a talk show, a very famous personality. He had a night talk show in the 90s and the 2000s here in the US. And he's a great car collector. He's got like 120 cars, and all of them very special parts. And he got this beautiful warehouse full of art, not only car, but full of big pieces of art. And I love it's about one of these in his place. And the other big car guy that is also one of the big type of ambassadors is Patrick MC. And I always wanted him to be one of my collectors. So last year, he became one throughout the brand. So we organized an event in Barcelona, and he was coming, and they were giving him one of my paintings, and I could hand it to him. Beautiful.
How do you feel when
Oh,
somebody's grabbing?
He knew my work because we have a lot of friends in common.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is a big name. Not only into acting, he became famous for being an actor, but also he's a big name into the endurance racing. He's been racing for Porsche for almost 20 years, and I love that he reacted very positively when he saw the painting, and he was surprised and loved it. So yeah, it's great that you make these little sequence step by step. It's a long journey. I've been painting for 15 years, and I hope I can still do this for the next 25.
Absolute. I think this is just the beginning.
Yeah, I like that.
Because you're giving happiness to other people.
Yeah, and that is another beautiful thing of my work. People take that for granted, but it's probably like owning up a restaurant that is full of people that when they leave the restaurant, they're happy to say the chef that they had a lovely time.
But they have only memories. But with you, they have actually something, but they can give it to another generation.
Yeah, they connect you that to many years. Actually, when I have collectors, that you feel some people when they discover you, they really want to have something from you in a very quickly and spontaneous way. And to many of them, I'm like, all right, you just discovered my work. Take your time, no rush, because the piece that you will get from me, it will stay with you for many years to come. And it's very easily something that will last with you for 10 or 20 years. So don't just make it quick, fast, first choice that comes to your head. Take it easy, think about it, and come back to me in a couple of months. And we'll see what we do is better, or maybe you want to get around these pages or whatever. But I try to push people to calm down on when they discover these pages, yeah, they stay in their house forever. It's crazy to think of that, but yeah, these will last me, that's for sure.
Do you think commercial success kills creativity, or it can work together?
They can work together, but they have to have their main ideas under the same umbrella. I think it's common that you see collaboration between people, between an artist and a big brand that don't match. I think they have to be very careful I think both sides have to be very careful when choosing who to partner with. Because it's beautiful when it's long-term, but those long-term relationships are challenging, For the first couple of years, things may work, but then long-term relationships, they're hard. They're way harder, but they are more real. So they both become ambassadors of each other. So they happen, but it's tricky. I don't know, it's tricky. I feel many artists, they don't like it when big brands go into their walls. But it is the world we're in today. And to me, it's beautiful when you see a cool DJ matching a drinking brand, or a clothing brand matching an artist.
By the way, actually, it was on my mind all this interview. What about clothing line? You never thought about it?
I've always thought about it.
Like I picture like cool T-shirts with cool the cars.
Yeah. And I've done a few of these a few years ago, but then it is really another business. Yeah, and I wish I had the time to go. Yeah, exactly. So I have a few names calling me these days. I don't know either, because a part of me tells me make it easy, just call up with a big brand, and they produce, they just give you the profit or whatever it needs. On the other hand, I'd love me to have my whole
process to choose the fabric, to make it that fit how you want, to be from the beginning to the end.
Exactly, my thing. And probably I'm in a very smaller number, but I love it.
I think it's a great idea. Can you imagine all the boys who's following you on Instagram who cannot afford maybe right now to have a car to begin with and then to make a painting, but to have a piece of cool picture and be cool. I think that's
difficult.
Absolutely. I talked to the Alberto.
Yeah.
How do you see your brand Menu Campa in future, like in 10 years, in 15 years?
I would say I would work less operatically now. I would produce 20 pennies a year for very specific events or very specific collectors. And more of a relaxed lifestyle. And maybe that clothing brand being stronger. So exploring a little bit. Because I've been doing this for like card things for 10 years. And it is not that I get bored, but keeping excited every morning in the studio is challenging.
I know.
I can imagine. And coming every Monday, like, hey, I have another two to work on, or I had this. So I'd rather evolve a little bit, maybe move away from just the routine of painting and exploring some other ways. Yeah, clothing might be perfect.
Guys, you see, you have a few more years left to order your dream painting because then it's going to be almost impossible.
They're gonna be mass price.